As you guys can see up on the screen today, I want to talk a little bit about Digital World Acquisition Corp. This is Dwac stock as most people know it, or the first and biggest and most important of the bunch of Trump stocks that have really been taking over the market. I mean, Trump stock mania has been everywhere over the past month, going on like a month plus at this point now. And the reason we're talking about this one today is a couple of reasons, but one of those for sure being the fact that this thing had a pretty awful day today, and things are only getting worse after hours, unfortunately, for anyone invested in DWAC or any of the other Trump stocks. I mean, this thing was down 9.87% on the day today. It actually opened in the green. It was up a little bit, about almost an entire dollar, but then it just kind of tanked and tanked and tanked. And this is kind of interesting because this was, not a great day for the S&P. Obviously, you can see here the SPY was down not a full percent, but almost a full percentage point. But obviously, there's a difference between 0.8% and 10%, with, still being down another 1.27% after hours as well. So this is getting a lot of people panicking because this is a play that, is very volatile, very exciting, very fast-paced. It has huge ups, huge downs. I mean, just look at over the last 6 months, this thing is up 407%. Now, when the announcements first came out that this was going to be, the Trump Media Group stock, this was going to be the social, the truth social media and all that stuff. Obviously, we shot up to, crazy prices, $94, $100, $150, $175. Things have kind of cooled off since then, but I mean, since these highs, you can see a sure downtrend. Over the past month, we're down 15%. Now, again, with some context, this is a time where the market overall has been flat. I mean, the market's down 0.2%. Again, I'm not going to really call that being down in the market. I'd say it's pretty flat overall. But things have not been great recently for DWAC. Obviously, it has its ups and downs. But when you look at all the Trump stocks, they're in a similar situation. Phun is down 8.85%, and this thing's down 23% on the month. We have Mark stock, which was down 7.76% today. And I didn't mean to click on 6 months, but, this thing's down 34% over the month. And then Cfvi, which is one of the newer ones, down 13% today. Really, really crazy, horrible down day for it. Now, it is still up 20% on the month because it had its upward trend, and it's linked to, Trump a little bit later on than some of these other companies. But what is actually going on here? Is this time to panic? Is the Trump stock mania over? Are we just going to continue to see more and more selling off? I mean, this has definitely been like a gradual decline. Here we were at like 70, and then, 60, and then this tip gets up to 65, but like, we haven't hit 90 again. We haven't hit 175 again. We haven't hit 72 again. It seems like the highs are getting a little lower each time. It seems like we're kind of trending downwards. Now, is this because we're just waiting for the next big story? Is this because we're waiting for the next big announcement? Is this because, the Truth Social Media Group beta got like delayed or whatever? I don't know for sure, but I do know that, from my perspective, in my opinion, this does seem like a more long-term investment. Now, yes, there are a lot of people trying to play off the hype in the short term, but for the people that actually believe in like the fundamentals of this thing, or believe that the Truth Social Media or the Trump Media Group is actually going to be a good business and a business worth investing in, it's a multiple years away play. Say Truth Social Media does drop at some point in 2022. Say it's successful. It's going to be a long time before we see how many users they can get, what user retention is like, how they can make money, how they can generate revenue, let alone generating profit in the future. How can they do, one of the other like 10, 15, 20 things that they promise they're going to be doing at some point in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So I don't really think it makes too much sense to look at this as a short-term play, unless you think it's like a short squeeze, unless you're playing off market sentiment, unless you're going for some momentum or something like that, which then you're really in the territory of gambling, and it's really hard to make any sense about any of that. Could they have some awesome news come out tomorrow and this thing shoot up 100% in a single day? Yeah, sure, it could, but it's just as likely that they're going to have some bad news, delay something, push something back, cancel something, and it'll go down 20, 30, 40, 50% a day as well. So, I mean, if you are in this for the short term, you definitely need to be careful. You definitely need to watch out because this is a volatile thing, as with all of these other Trump stocks. But Dwac is kind of the main one. They're all going to live and die as Dwac does, because this is, at the end of the day, where all the Trump stuff is centered at. When we go to the Dwac stock subreddit, this is kind of the home for Trump stock news at this point, and just for the community of people. They have 13,000 members. Not crazy big, not insane, but they do have, a pretty active community, and obviously a pretty, involved community as well. And there are some people, like this guy saying the price drop isn't natural. And anyone who claims otherwise is a naive dupe. This is short hedge funds and market makers setting the table for tomorrow. So, they do think that even though there was a drop today, they think, it's trying to get people out, trying to shake people out so they can shoot it up tomorrow. This is them dipping it down so they can load up. And maybe people who buy the dip today are going to be, reaping the rewards as the week goes on, because today's just Monday. We have a long week ahead of us. It's going to be very, very crazy and interesting to see. But obviously, something going down like this, it could definitely shake people out and scare people the rest of the week as well. It could, lose a lot of momentum. People who recently just bought into this and are getting burned and are waking up to, 10, 11% down. That's not, are those people going to buy right back in? Are those people going to be buying the dip? Are they going to be doubling down? Or are they probably a little paper-handed in the first place? I guess we will see. But again, other posts like this, I think something like this is great to see. They're saying that it's a long-term investment. This post has a decent amount of upvotes. They say if you're like me, you're in this for the long haul. I got in pretty low, 1875, and I'm not going anywhere. I can't watch what it's doing daily, but because it's going to kill my eyes, I believe it will be profitable. It's just in its gestational stage. We have to wait. We can do this. Take a few steps back, live in the moment, and be cool. Now, I think this is great. Like I said, if you do think this is a long-term investment, yes, it is hard to look at the day-to-day movements. You're up 10%, you're up 15, you're up 20, you're down 10. It can be very, very crazy. And I do believe that, again, if you believe in this company, if you think it's a good investment, then what it's doing right now shouldn't matter to you too much. If you believe you're getting in at a fair valuation, if you believe there's tons of growth, if you believe they're going to hit on even a fraction of the things that they're promising, then who really cares what's going on right now? But I will say that it is much easier to have that state of mind when you got in at 1875 on a stock that's right now sitting at $51. Even if this thing goes down 10% in a day, you're still up over double on your money. You're still, chilling, where a lot of people bought in at $56 and they're down 10% today. A lot of people bought in at 70, 80, 90, 100. There's somebody out there that bought this stock for $175. They're not just like, oh yeah, it's a long-term investment. I'm down 70%. I'm just holding, You got to add some perspective. You got to add some context to it for sure. But I do think this is cool, that some people are actually talking about a long-term investment. And I do think that is a good sign for Dwac and a lot of these Trump stocks in the long term, that they have some of that, that should keep the price at least somewhat stable at some certain level. But again, at the end of the day, they're going to have to hit on these things that they are promising. They're going to have to stop pushing stuff back, stop delaying stuff. And 2022 is going to need to be a big year where we actually start seeing some of the TMTG ideas coming to fruition, being, don't tell me, you got to show me. And that's when we'll start seeing some of the big gains and everything. Or if they can't show us ever, then that's where we'll start seeing some of the big losses as well. But then here, like I said, another post, I'm buying all the dips, bro. I'm not scared. I'm ready to fight. And yeah, so if you do believe in this company for the long term, this is potentially a chance to get this for 10, 11, 12% off and just add to your shares for cheaper, or maybe lower your cost basis, maybe set yourself up better for the future. Or, maybe you look around, you start reevaluating things and you decide, hey, this isn't what I signed up for. I wasn't ready to go down 10, 11, 12% in a single day. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about Dwac or any of the other Trump stocks. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.